A local nonprofit hosts an annual emergency plan meeting for the public to prepare and respond to chemical emergencies. In cooperation with the local emergency planning committee, the meetings inform the public about plans in place in case of chemical spills or leaks. The meetings are set to help community members understand what the local emergency planning committee is and allow citizens to ask any questions they have about the plans.
Well, what's very important is that people need to know what we do and what's available in case they have concerns, and for them to understand that the LEPC does provide a very important function in the county.